Hello, Gemini. Elsie here to do a reading for you. Gemini, this week we're looking at the rest of the year. And while I realize that it's only 3 weeks away or so, I thought I would come here and give you a reading for what the energies might be for the rest of the month. I will come back with other readings, of course, but in the month of December. But this one, I thought that we would sort of focus on what's happening for the rest of the month and also what may be coming up in 2026. If that shows up, we'll talk about that as well. We are going to pull a 9-card draw today. Gemini, how are you? Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. And how was that full moon for you? Gemini, I don't know. I was ready to punch somebody in the throat. I stayed home because, man, I was angry. I don't know. And it was internal. It wasn't external. I wasn't angry at anybody. But holy man, the whole couple of days leading up to it and the couple of days that we are going through the moon, today's the first day that I can actually even stand myself. I'm telling you. Tell me how it was for you, Gemini. How did it work out? Did you let things go? Full moons are always about the release of things, right? Did you release words? Did you say something you shouldn't have? Did you tune someone in? I'd be interested to know. All right, Gemini, at the end of this video, I'm going to tell you all about how to find a private read. I'm also going to talk to you about how to find the extended if you're interested in that. And hey, thank you so much if you're the person who's never been here before. If you're giving this a shot, thank you for doing that. If you're the person who always comes back because you're my ride or die, thank you for that. And I keep forgetting about that hype button. Thank you so much for hitting the hype button. I do appreciate you on that. And if you like this video, a thumbs up would be great. Look, if I'm coming through your feed anyway, all up in your business, maybe you can just hit the subscription button. All right, let's find out what's going on. 9-card draw for you, Gemini. Oh, look at that. 10 of Cups is here. Why is that? Tell me about the 10 of Cups for Gemini. We've got the Star. Oh, look, something went down. Look, you've got hope. You've got happiness. You've got clarity. You've got something that I feel is growing into happiness. It feels like you're feeling more hopeful lately about something. It could be emotional hope for some of you, right? It feels like you are more clear about your manifestations. And I feel like that gives you this feeling of happiness or hopefulness or joy for some of you. It could be that. The 10 of Cups can also represent family, right? So maybe you're looking at feeling more hopeful about your family unit, whether that's the family unit you live in or whether that's mom, dad, sister, brother. It feels like the sun has brought you some clarity about your manifestations or about how to feel more joyful in terms of those manifestations, how to be more upbeat, positive, possibly emotionally positive. We've got the Death card. Something has changed here. Gemini, it feels like something has changed here. And I feel like it is some sort of a transformation from maybe feeling hopeless to feeling hopeful and being very clear about the path ahead. Pardon me. We've got the Knight of Wands. Tell me more. And we've got the Two of Swords. It feels like somebody here in this present moment is trying to find the... I think you're trying to be brave in this moment because it feels like you're trying to listen to your intuition. It does feel like you are on wobbly legs a little bit as it pertains to possibly making some type of decision. And the decision is going to require that you use your intuition. Well, I think that this would be the best time for you to make a decision using your intuition. Trust yourself. I'm going to say, go ahead and trust yourself. How are you feeling? What does it feel like in your gut? Say the thing you're going to say, do the thing you're going to do. Because the sun is here with the Two of Swords. I feel like this is the best time to make some sort of really hard decision that you've been trying to make. And it feels like it's going to take a lot of bravery for you to do that because it's going to change something. But I think it's going to change it for the positive because I feel like you've been hoping to find the bravery to make some sort of decision. And now it's clear that it might be sometime soon, like in the month of December, possibly, that there is some sort of change or transformation or something is not going to look like it did before. It might be something that is transforming. You know, I feel like it could be a thought pattern as well, because the star is Aquarius, and Aquarius is the clear one, like the overthinker as well. But it feels like how you see happiness or joy is about to transform. I want to say that maybe you were fed the line of, for me, it's like sometimes that society tells us what joy is supposed to look like. It's supposed to be material wealth. It's supposed to be the things you can buy on TikTok. It's supposed to be, having the 1.5 kids and the white picket fence. And I think you're redefining it. That's what it feels like. It feels like how you feel about, or how you see, how you view your 10 of Cups, and it's different for everybody, but I think that your view on the 10 of Cups is about to change. And I feel like it takes a lot of bravery for you to have hope in something that is just your path and not the path of everyone else. Tell me more about Gemini. I don't think you're listening to things that are external to you anymore about how you're supposed to be happy, what you're supposed to be happy with, or what happiness is supposed to look like. Look, the High Priestess is here. I really do feel like it has something to do with your intuition. It feels like you're changing the way that you move forward or are brave about making decisions, because now you're listening to your intuition. And I feel like I feel like I'm connecting with somebody here who feels like maybe they speak out of line, or every time I say something or make a decision, nobody agrees with it. I'm going to say that I feel like this tells me going forward, I don't really care. I'm just going to say what I've got to say, because if it is making sense intuitively to me, I'm just going to do it. Tell me, you're going to be more brave for sure, because the Knight of Wands is here. We've got the Two of Pentacles. I think there's a thought process. There's something you've been thinking about, whether to do it or whether not to do it. And, there's a sword up and a sword down. And for me, when swords are up, it's like, hey, I got something to say. The swords up for me is the truth. The sword down for me is I'm not really sure about how I should say the truth. So it does feel like you found some sort of truth. And because you found the truth, you now have to find the bravery to just speak it out loud and give it as truth. And so I feel like your intuition is telling you that instead of going back and forth in the mind, that it's time that you actually brought it into the 3D. And it feels like there is some sort of decision that you're making that is not necessarily going to be something that everybody in the family is happy with, but it feels like it's going to be good for you, because you've been carrying something around here. That's what it feels like. You've been carrying something around here. You've possibly been carrying around this Two of Swords here. Not making the decision has been weighing heavy on you, but I feel like it's time that you stop hiding your thought process. It feels like somebody here is bringing a decision into the light. I'm just finally going to say it. There's a breakthrough here. If you've been going back and forth on something that you didn't know what you were going to do about the situation, I feel like that becomes more clear. Or if it doesn't become clear, you become more brave about how you're going to deliver information. Because I feel like you are now in this place of feeling a little more hopeful, that you can trust your intuition. And I would say that being silent is what makes you sort of in this wobbly place where I could say it, but I feel like you care too much about what other people say. And I understand that whatever you might say might irritate other people. But I feel like really, if it's the truth, who can refute it? The only thing that they're going to be pissed off about is that you said it and brought it out into the light. If it is the truth and it's not something that you're just saying out of the side of your mouth in order to piss somebody off, I mean, I don't know, maybe I'm a Taurus and maybe I think logically like you. And so maybe I'm a person who appreciates the truth, regardless of somebody's opinion. I don't care what your opinion is. If it is the truth, like you can back it up with actual facts and data, then I'm going to say, yeah, go ahead and say your truth. I'm not saying, taking broad brush strokes across, situations and making everybody about one thing. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about actual facts that bring I would say, harmony and balance. We're looking at Libra energy here. So what's under the surface that you don't see? The Hermit energy and the Seven of Wands. It feels like you are about to make a decision. Look, this person here, always look at the depiction, right? The person here is holding 2 wands. Again, another decision to be made. But what is she doing? Hopping her indecision, right? She's jumping over the indecision. I'm now picking up the wands and taking action and jumping over the 5 wands. So it does feel like you're sort of removing a block. Maybe the block was that you were at the 2 of Wands and you couldn't make a decision. But I feel like this Hermit energy has something to do with that. It feels like you are finally making a decision about, I don't have to carry around or harbor this energy anymore. Because this is a painful place to be. When you're carrying around things that don't belong to you, I would say. It feels like you've been carrying around a thought process and you have been going back and forth, wobbling back and forth, wondering, how do I keep my balance here? How do I say it in a way that's digestible for everyone around me? I feel like the Death card and the Knight of Wands are saying to you, you don't. You just say what you're going to say. I don't think you have a problem with that. But I think the problem comes from somebody who says something that has no factual backup. If you're just going to be disparaging with somebody and not have any factual backup, then I think that's where people start to say, why did you even say that in a group full of people? But when you do have backup, it almost comes off as truthful harmony. That, yes, it had to be said. And if it has to be said, Gemini is going to say it. Let's talk about the star, because it feels like there is clarity of healing. It's almost like I feel like I'm giving myself permission to say this out loud. And so there is clarity, healing, possibly some hopeful things going on here. Wish fulfillment. We've got the 5 of Swords. So I don't think it's that you say it, Gemini. I think it's just the way that you say it. I mean, I don't care if you care how I'm reading these cards. I'm not a Gemini, but honestly, it feels like that's sort of the energy that I'm in this reading today for you. It's like, I don't really care how you take it. It might cause an argument. It might cause a kerfuffle, right? The 5 of Swords is here. Maybe we've drawn the line in the sand and we're not supposed to talk about a certain thing, but I'm about to say it in a way that is probably going to bring clarity or healing in the situation rather than arguments and fights. It feels like you're dealing with somebody or a situation where you have a difference of opinion or some sort of a fundamental difference with somebody here. It could be about money or how some sort of business is run, because the 9 of Pentacles is here. It also does feel like you're very confident about what you're saying, that what you're saying is true, because the star is here and the star is Aquarius energy, and Aquariuses are going to be very truthful and honest. Look, I'm not painting the world with one brush. Not every Aquarius is the same as the other, and no Gemini is the same as the other. Tell you what, I have a plethora of Geminis in my life, and none of them are like the other one because of their moon and rising. Because their moon and rising energy throws energy at the sun sign. The sun signs don't mean as much as you think it does. We have the Fool. So I feel like that there is something to be said that you feel might cause a bit of an argument. But I think I want to say that whatever it is that you're about to bring up has pretty solid factual documentation. We've got the 9 of Pentacles here, and the 9 of Pentacles tells me you know that it's true because it already benefited you. It made you feel confident. It gave you money. It built you money. You sold this thing. It feels like you're very confident about whatever it is that you're about to discuss. It is going to open a door. And I feel like you're kind of excited to tell people about maybe what your wish fulfillment is or something that you really have hope for. It feels like the sun energy is here. It's like a decision you've made that you want to share with other people. Tell me about the 2 of Swords. And I feel like with this person with their eyes covered, feels to me that you've really been searching through the intuition energy here to figure out what you should do. And I feel like you've got your answer because the sun is here. We've got, the Empress. Tell me about the Empress. We've got the 4 of Cups. And we've got the Page of Cups. So it feels like this is something of good news or good rapport. But I do think that the way that you say it or the way that you are about to deliver the information matters. I feel like you are going to deliver truth. You want to do it in a harmonious way, or these cups wouldn't show up here. There are going to be some people who are going to reject your idea, whatever that idea is. But I feel like this Empress energy. Now, the Empress energy could be you. This is Taurus and Libra energy, but understand it's just because this is a person of love, Venusian signs. The Queen is all, or the Empress is all of the queens, and that equals to wisdom. And because Taurus is a feminine energy and Libra is a masculine energy, whether you are a man or a woman or a feminine or a masculine, you could fit into this Empress energy. The Empress energy has wisdom. I feel like you are about to make a decision, deliver something that is going to surprise other people. Some people are going to reject your idea, and that is just the way it is. And that was the energy that I was feeling for you at the beginning. You've had a breakthrough that you're about to share. There's some truthful information that you need to share. And I think that if you are the Empress, that you are somebody who people understand you're not saying this in order to hurt people. You know who the Empress is. People know who the Empress is. The Empress is kind and loving and compassionate, but is also the Queen of Swords, is somebody who's going to say something if it needs to be said. So I feel like some people are going to be shocked at whatever the subject matter is, but some people are also going to be not going to agree. They're going to reject it. They're going to reject your idea, whatever your decision that you've made here, whatever the decision is. Tell me about the Death card, because something here is changing about the way that you see happiness or joy. It feels like you've changed your mind about something here. And we've got the Knight of Pentacles. We've got the Queen of Swords. We just spoke of her, and there she is. And look, I feel like you're really new to this Empress energy, because when the Queen of Swords is on the table for me, that's the last lesson that most of us learn before we can become the actual Empress. Because standing up for yourself, saying something, and liberating yourself regardless of who is in the room is a really hard thing to do. So I'm going to say that whatever it is, the decision that you're making does have a lot of truth, because when the Queen of Swords shows up, she's just being really honest. It's a perspective that you've got. You've changed your perspective on something that has to do with the Knight of Pentacles. It's like something that is taking its time. You've gone over some sort of details or reassessed a situation, and you decided that maybe the thought process you had about something is not exactly how it was. Because I feel like you've received more information because the Hanged Man is here. It feels like you're now taking a different perspective, and maybe you've changed your mind. Look, it is brave. It is brave for you to change your mind. And I do know somebody in my own life who is like well into their 60s, and they had a certain opinion about something that was actually quite socially offensive. And although I never would have told that person that this is socially offensive, because as I said, they came with backup documentation, I feel like this energy tells me that you were brave enough to change your mind or change your opinion based on the more information that you receive, the facts. I think this is going to shock some people, because I feel like you're ready to go to the ground with it, right? When you know something and you know it factually, you're ready to fight it tooth and nail, and you're ready to go to the ground with it. Especially if you have fire in the rising. If you are a Gemini with the fire in the rising, you're the person who walks in the dark room, flicks on the lights and say, I got something to say, you're all going to listen. I'm just saying. So I feel like you have changed your mind on something. And I think it's going to shock everybody, to be honest. I think it's going to shock everybody. There is something that you are going to, like, this is a thought pattern, but this is something that's going on in the 3D. I feel like you're wobbling a little bit because you're no longer going to be carrying this around, I feel, because it's too heavy. It feels like you are now listening to your intuition, and I feel like you're about to tell people something. There's something that you figured out about yourself while you were in Hermit energy, and Hermit energy is the place where you go to find your light, Gemini. So I think that you're speaking on spirituality, or your whatever you learned while you were in the Hermit energy, learned about your light, learned about your path. It feels like you've now made a decision about something, and you are no longer in indecision, because this person is jumping the 5 wands, right? You're no longer in indecision about what's going on here. This is very interesting. We're going to take it into the extension. If you would like to come there, that's where we'll be. I feel like that this is a relief for you, because the Ten of Wands is about dropping something that you've been carrying around with you for a really long time. And although you had an opposing view on something, Gemini, I feel like maybe you carried it around and you thought, oh, they're not going to like me because of my point of view. I always cause a fight every time we talk about this thing. I feel like you've changed your mind on something, and it took a lot of bravery to do that. We'll talk about whatever the subject matter is. It could be a relationship. It could be something social. It could be something about your social group or your family, for sure, or how you see love or how you see joy. We've got the Ten of Swords here. Yep, something is definitely done with. It's finished. And although the Ten of Swords is a place of pain, and this could be pain and anguish because you realize after so many years that you may have been wrong about something because you received new information, new backup documentation that actually changed your mind about something. So it does feel like this is actually a relief. It's the relief of now I can let it go and I don't have to argue about it anymore. So if you're wanting to come into the extended, please look at the top of the comments. There is one pinned comment there. If you look at the pinned comment, click on it, open it, click on the more, you will see that there is a link there to the membership area. If you're interested in getting at least 4 extendeds through the month, you come into the membership area. And if you are interested in more, of course, I do put all of the extendeds in the membership area. If you're interested in purchasing this outright, you can do that just by clicking on the link that is in the pinned comment. I also do private reads if you're interested in a pre-recorded or a live read. I'm doing them both. So the pre-recorded readings, they begin at $25 and go up from there. Click that link to Hypsee. It'll take you to my pricing. And if you're interested in a live read, whether you want to do that in text, over the phone, or through video, we can do that as well. You just need to look at my schedule and book yourself an appointment. You will get up to 75% off of your call if you book in advance. I'm going to go for now. We'll go into the extended. I'm going to go, but I'll be back because I'm always back. Thanks, Gemini, for this great reading. It's exciting. I can't wait to pull this all apart. All right, I'm going to go. Take care. Bye-bye.